Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, rather had fun,
Jack had a real good run in men's singles.
Yeah.
Finished third. He beat
Barnett.
Beat Connor in a really good match.
First game was 4-11. I was like, Connor's got this in the bag.
Yeah.
And then Jack or maybe Connor threw it, just like what James did in the indoor.
Jack's using a pretty soft paddle, isn't he?
Yeah, he's
Imagine it with like something with more power.
That'd be scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was thinking about this the other day, like, when Nadal was like in his prime, like people always raved about like his RPMs on his ball. I think Jack was the only guy to ever beat his RPMs on his forehand.
Jack had higher, I remember that stat. Jack had higher spin rates on his forehand than Rafa.
He's just so whippy, it's like scary.
Mm-hmm. And it's like pretty compact. Like obviously there's a lot going on, but he gets a ton of power with a really compact swing.
Yeah. The people who like really just literally flare their elbow out, they get so much whip.
Yeah. He's had that forever though. Like even when he was like 12 years old, he had a huge forehand.
How does somebody like that not like screw up their wrist? Like he's so wristy with it. Has he just developed so much strength in his wrist over the years, or what?
Is having it loose, does that prevent injuries?
Probably.
Yeah.
Because he's so relaxed. I mean, I would love to know like how loose he's holding the paddle or he held the racket. Because it's just naturally like just whippy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's just crazy watching him like run around dinks.
Yeah.
Like he's treating it like a mini tennis court.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, him and Colin did surprisingly well, and I mean they did probably as expected given their draw, right?
Probably.
I think he looked better than I was expecting in men's doubles. I think he did better. He did probably about what I was expecting in singles, like, and mixed doubles. Who ended up taking him out? Who did he play with mixed?
Jack? Parento.
Yeah.
Parento. They lost to James and Anna, right?
Yep. In the semis. I didn't watch much of that, but I just know that's what happened.
Are bringing these like pro tennis players a healthy and good way to bring exposure into pickleball?
Yeah, I think so. Because especially bringing someone like Jack or like even Donald Young, like all those guys have a lot of buddies on the ATP tour that like, I mean, I'm sure like people like Nick Kyrgios are probably like, I'm not saying they're going to play pickleball, but they're definitely intrigued by it. They're like, dude.
I saw some clips of Kyrgios dinking around a little bit recently.
He would be nasty.
For sure.
He would be nasty.
Yeah, you would change pickleball.
I think Jack is going to be a better pickleball player than Nick.
Yeah, probably.
I think Nick and Jack have sort of similar tennis games.
Yeah, we're like super like loose, like just like go out swinging, like you know, like they're never gonna play like tight. They're never gonna play not to lose. They're always like just going for it, which makes it when they're on, they're like so fun to watch. Bringing that to the pickleball world would be like insane. But no, I think especially it's good for them to like if Jeannie Bouchard won everything she ever played in pickleball, it would make pickleball look like a joke.
Right.
But I think just given like that good of a tennis player comes to pickleball and like struggles at the beginning is good.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean it's good to have the contrast, right?
Sure.
Like it's good to see, okay, this isn't so difficult that I can't do it.
Yeah.
Right? And it's also good to say, okay, you can't just waltz in having never really played and expect to like do decently.
Yeah.
So it's good that we have our Sam Querrys and our Jeannie Bouchards. It's also great that we have Jack, who's doing really well right away.
Yeah.
Not you, obviously. Damn, I'm a dick.
Absurd how far you can get in pickleball by just having a forehand. To be fair, you can be a top 15, 20 player and have a subpar backhand but a Ferrari forehand and still be a very good player.
Yeah. Do you think obviously it's cool to watch him run around it, but you think he's overdoing it?
What?
Running around backhand dinks to hit a forehand?
Yeah, I've seen him doing it in doubles.
Yeah, I know, but you think he's overdoing it?
Overdoing it?
Do you think if he just like developed like just like a decent backhand curl, he wouldn't have to like recover so much to the middle to like open up to cover with the forehand?
Yeah, but he's so good at. I mean, that's what he's done his entire tennis career.
Yeah.
Run around, people try and go over to his forehand, and then he goes and gets it. Like, if you run around it, you can really generate some pretty good angles, especially with how good his forehand is and how much spin and power he can generate. Like, it definitely opens up the court. So I mean, him on the left side it's a tough. I feel like him on the left side would be somebody that could push Ben and Colin because he loves his little inside out forehand. He can pull Ben out wide or keep Ben honest out wide. And then if he runs around it, he can actually, he could attack Colin pretty well.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And you see the parallel with James and his two-way.
Mm-hmm.
James can pull Ben out wide with that two-way shape, as well as speed up wherever he wants.
Right. You need somebody who can speed up from the side of the court to beat Ben and Colin. You can't speed up at him from the middle of the court. You need to have a little bit of an angle to work with. Jack can create that by running around his backhand. And I think James can create that just by rolling his backhand. So,
who would be Jack's perfect partner, ideal partner?
I actually think I think matchup wise, I feel like you'd be a good partner with him because you can come in and cover his middle, right, with your lefty forehand, and then you can be creative on the other side.
Shake and bake.
Yeah, some shake and bake action.
Yeah, I mean, if somebody has a drive like that, you put like Pablo or Rafa or any good lefty that poaches like that, it's game changing.
Yeah, I feel like Jack wants a dynamic right side player. Like, he doesn't want to be lulled into the long dinking rallies. I'm sure he'd be fine at it, but my guy's not out here to grind it. We'll just put it that way. I don't know. Who do you think? Who's his best matchup on the right side, partner?
I was gonna say ideally it would be a lefty.
Yeah.
Because then you can just have him create a lot from way out wide, and then just not still be safe if someone covering the middle.
And then here's the thing: a chaotic or a stable lefty. Does Jack want to be the one speeding up, and then his partners?
I think he does. Yeah, I think that would be the way to go. Because if you have too much chaos, it's hard to sustain that for a whole 2 out of 3. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
I even saw it against Riley and Thomas. They started creating some chaos, and then I think they lost 11-8. But then going to the second game, it was just so quick.
Yeah.
So,
which is why it's so hard to obviously beat the Johns Pros.
Oh yeah.
They'll dink forever. The only way you beat them is with chaos.
Yeah.
And it's so tough to do that with a long time horizon.
Ooh.
What about obviously Thomas and Riley I thought played really well together. What about Jack and Thomas? Because Thomas is really good from that right side, and you can't just pick on him, right? You're not going to end up in a long dinking rally. And you saw Thomas play really good right with Riley.
Mm-hmm.
Thomas was coming over to the middle of the court and even onto Riley's side of the court to come hit forehand in, right?
That would be a good team. Really good team. They would both have so much variety from both sides.
For sure.
It'd be okay, when I have it, this is your role, and vice versa.
It'd be the hardest hitting team in pickleball by far.
On one point, it was harder to actually listen to what they were saying to each other, but on one point, Thomas goes for a super hard forehand drive and just misses it by super wide, and Jack was nice forehand or something. Even though he was getting destroyed, he was still talking crap to him. I was that's pretty funny.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, bro? Hey, you into pickleball at all? You into pickleball? No? All right. I've got a nice little side hustle going here. I basically just show up at pickleball courts, and I bring some products that they might need, and I slang pickleball products. With pickleball being such a hot sport right now, there's a lot of different products coming out, and it's hard to keep up with. So I just basically bring the products directly to the customer right here. Hey, bro. Hey, you're looking thirsty out there. You need one of these ice shakers? To be honest with you, though, all I'm really doing is I just subscribe to the pickleball box, and it comes straight to my door with all the hottest pickleball gear in here, and it's $250 worth of stuff, and I get it for 99 bucks. Hey, Donna, I got that new Fila zip-up you were asking about right here. Yeah, that pickleball Fila zip-up, yeah. Yo, these pickleball junkies, man, Once you give them a taste of that new product that they got coming out, they can't get enough of it. Hey, Tom, weren't you asking about some pickleball socks, man? I got some socks right here for you, brand new. Yo, did y'all need some sunblock? Was somebody asking about some sunblock? Hey, what's up, bro? You want to check out what all I got? Yeah, come check it out, man. Check it out. Wait. Cops, dude, cops. Be cool. What's up, officer? Good day? Having a good day? Good. All right, check it out.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, rather had fun, yeah.